this is a product that, is okay, I'm just going to put it out anyway. You
Okay.
want to put out the best damn product that you possibly can, and you want to market it properly. You want to understand there's so many different aspects to running a business that band dudes don't understand.
Right.
You know, band dudes. You know how many times I've had to explain recoupable funds to bands that are unsigned,
Oh
and
yeah.
Every time.
what? They're like, what the fuck is that?
Welcome to the Music Combine now. Pleasure to have you, sir.
Hell yeah.
Been looking forward to this since we ever met. And I was talking to Greg, and he's like, what are we gonna do about the show today? And what do you think we should talk to Tim about? And it's amazing. Like, you are probably in one of the most brutal bands out there, for an autopsy.
There are.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, like, I can't play like that, but you guys can. And you guys have really made a name for yourself. I mean, you're over like 5 records now, Nuclear Blast signed band.
Oh yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your story. You're from Long Island.
Yeah, so I was born and raised on Long Island. I started playing in bands when I was probably about 14 years old. I was in a semi-serious band in high school, and that kind of went up in flames really fast, and I ended up joining a band called The World We Knew, which we had some success in the late 2000s, early 2010s, which was very cool. And it was one of the best stepping stones that I could ever ask for, just because the amount of DIY touring that we did, it really showed me the ropes and showed me, how to tour properly. And once I joined Fit in 2013, I kind of already had that knowledge base, and that helped Fit get on track because there were certain dudes in the band that didn't really have that experience. They'd been playing music forever, but they didn't have that touring experience that I had, because we were out constantly. So when I joined Fit, it just, I was that WD-40 to that, still working wheel. And it turned into such a well-oiled machine over the last 7 years that I've been in the band.
That's
insane.
So you're kind of like a mentor to your other peers in the band.
Well, it's
the mental anguish that you could possibly go through, or how to avoid that, right?
Yeah, well, what's cool is that everybody in the band came from other bands, really. You had Patrick, who, he had been in bands since 94. He's he's about 10 plus years. He's a little over 10 years older than me. So he's been in bands forever. And with him, he had the band experience, but he didn't really have the touring, the full-time touring experience. And Fit was starting to get to the point where they were doing really well, and they needed a full-time touring dude, a guy that could go out on tour, because Will at the time was doing so much with his recording career, and it really started to take off. So he couldn't leave for months at a time, because he was trying to hammer out 10 records, 12 records a year. So adding me to the mix really, got those juices flowing as far as the touring aspect. And we released Hellbound about 6 months after I joined the band, and from there it was just a non-stop ride, man. We have not stopped since pretty much summer of 2013.
Shit. And then what your year was supposed to be like for 2020 was probably very busy as well, right? And then the first time you ever stopped from since 2013 was probably because of this shit.
So check this out. This is the longest that I've been home since 2007.
How are you handling it?
It's weird.
How do you mean?
It's so weird. It's cool because I feel like I'm, gaining some of that time back to work on other projects that I've kind of been putting off for years and stuff like that. And I feel like I'm kind of getting all my ducks in order, and doing that, which is really cool. But at the same time, for 13 years I've been going nonstop, and I've wanted to do this as a career forever.
Mhm.
And with all this stuff, it's like, nope, you got to stop. We were supposed to be out from January to October. We had like, you know, a couple weeks in between each tour, but we were going to be out every single month from January to October for this record.
Damn. And then were you gonna cover Europe too, or was it just North America, or all both?
Yeah, so we did January and February in Europe. We
Mhm.
came back. We were supposed to do March 12th to like April 17th in the States. May, for 2 weeks, we were going to go to Australia. June and July was supposed to
So
be
so May, you would have done Soundwave then, right?
I don't think we would have done Soundwave. It was just us and
Headliner.
Art on headliner stuff. Like
Oh
Art was doing
Jesus,
headliner
dude.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
exactly. And then we were supposed to go back to Europe for 3 weeks, doing the festival run in June and July.
Mhm.
We had all the major festivals over there. We were supposed to play Finland for the first time,
Oh wow.
Portugal for the first time. We were supposed to play all
Ooh.
this stuff. And then after that, we had another tour lined up in August, full US, co-headliner.
Damn.
And then September, we would have gotten home September 1, and then late September, early October would have been a headliner across all of Canada.
That sounds like a jam-packed year into a 2021. So I mean, we'll go back to this later, but I'm sure you're gonna have to double up and triple up on, when you guys come back, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You're gonna be really busy.
We're trying. I mean, who knows what's going to happen in
Mhm.
9 months? We do have stuff planned for, the States and Europe and Australia and all this stuff, tentative.
Mhm.
We don't know we don't know when that's actually going to happen.
That's the $1 million question. And then the other question, just because I'm curious, and it definitely contributes to the show's value, is what you guys are doing, I guess, as a band to, you come out a new album and this year's kind of a bust when it comes to touring. What are you doing to keep engaged with your fans?
I mean, all of us are trying to still stay relevant. I mean, you have to some extent, but I think everybody's being a little bit more lax when it comes to doing the content creation thing and doing the band thing and doing this. We're still working on stuff in the background, but I'll be honest, it's kind of nice to not have to worry about posting on Instagram every day to make sure that my sponsors know that I'm still playing their guitars, or so on and so forth.
Mhm.
It's nice to be able to take a step back and not have to worry about that stuff, which is great. And luckily the fans all are still super supportive.
Yeah.
Whenever we post either a merch update or something like that, or any sort of status, whether it be happy birthday to our bassist or happy birthday to somebody,
Mhm.
everybody's still on board, and everybody's still kind of in limbo, just waiting for touring and live shows to resume.
Sure, sure. Thank you for answering that pretty in depth there. And I would also, we talk a lot to the independent musicians out there that don't know where the hell to start. They don't tour. They don't know how to tour. They don't know how to do it yourself. And so it comes down to more content creation, more ways to engage people, smart paid advertising, and all that. But on the back end of this goes towards your band putting on in the effort since 2013 and going hard and not stopping, and the residual carryover you get for all that work that you've done. So for everybody out there listening or watching, this is what you get when you put in the time and you do it right. It carries over to some time like this where you don't have the time. You don't have to really push like you were pushing when you're playing live shows, and you can kind of take a step back a little bit and focus on yourself and look inward and still keep engaged with your fans, but again, kind of regroup. And that's pretty impressive to hear. So
Yeah, well, if you think about a band like Tool or a band like Deftones
yeah,
or something like that, those are bands that forever, they'll go on tour and they'll play, their full record cycle, and they'll go out for 18 months and tour nonstop.
Mhm.
And then after that, they don't have to go on tour for, say 6 months or 12 months or 18 months, or there's some times where bands don't go on tour for years at a time because they don't have to,
Right. Cool.
because exactly, it did that for them.
Because we got 10 Pussifer records to put out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It makes yeah, that's just like you put in your time, you've ingrained yourself in the minds of the youth and the people that are into your music, and they'll be forever waiting for you. And that says a lot, says a lot about the band, and putting in that hard work, the actual grassroots
Yeah.
right. So I guess so right now you have a new album out, essentially newer, right?
Yeah, that it's called The Sea of Tragic Beasts. It's our first record on Nuclear Blast, which
Nice.
has been the reception for that record has been absolutely amazing.
Congratulations.
And thank you. And yeah, it's kind of a bummer that we didn't really get the chance to push it as much as we wanted to, and go out there and really play all those songs live.
Yeah. Yeah. I would want to do that too, man. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
A lot of anticipation. Like, I want to hear that shit.
Of course, and I wanted to play it. And what's awful is that it got to the point where we were on tour and we were playing, obviously before the record, you start playing a couple new songs or a couple singles and stuff. And this tour that we were supposed to be on, or, the tour that was supposed to happen right when COVID hit, we were just starting to go off and really hit some of the deep cuts, which was sick.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking hey, man. Fucking. Well, you know what? You'll bounce back even better for this.
Yes.
So I mean, Mike, we had spoken. We always speak about who's going to be on the show. What are they doing? And outside of the band, I see you're pretty avid branding extraordinaire, and kind of want to pick your brain about that. And I guess maybe because of what's going on right now, maybe you dived back into that, and basically building your company outside of Fit, and talk a little bit about that. That would be great. I'd love to hear
Yeah,
more.
of course. Of course. I mean, I was talking to Michael about this, the other day. There's so much other stuff that I do outside of this, just because, I'm kind of I kind of have a creative mind, and my mind is always going at a million miles an hour.
Sure.
So besides, the band thing, I do leather work. I have a motorcycle based clothing company. I took on a social media and influencer management job at, a leather manufacturer, or a leather jacket manufacturer.
Mhm.
I used to bounce at clubs. I'm kind of a man of a million different hats.
Yeah. Yeah. So your brand now, social media guy for the leather manufacturing company. Where was it at before you started, and where is it at now? And how's it growing? And maybe you can tap into that a little bit, because it's pretty interesting.
So right now, I mean, one thing that people don't realize is social media is like a free newspaper.
Yep.
Back in the day, you'd have a newspaper and you would pay them X amount of dollars to, put your ad or whatever in, on page 6 or whatever it may be. And nowadays it's such a free tool to an extent. Obviously, if you want it to go out to more people, you can put money into it and whatnot. But, social media, especially for guitarists that are coming onto the scene, that are trying to do it as musicians and even bands, people don't understand the value of social media, and they still don't. Like, it's been around forever, and they still don't understand it. which is kind of a bummer. But when you think about where the social media was for this company, right? Now, we've only grown, say, I want to say 4,000 or 3,000, 4,000 followers in the last couple months,
I think that's
right?
pretty amazing, dude.
It's solid. When you think about it, took them about 4 or 5 years, 4 years, 4.5 years to get to 20,000. So if we're doing if we're doing a fifth of that in 3 months,
Yeah, it's great
and
growth.
we're growing
Imagine
steady like that,
the exponential
exactly.
collateral on that's pretty huge.
Oh
Compounding.
yeah, the craziest thing that I ever saw, right? There's a girl that I follow on YouTube that is big into social media, big into social media planning, and she kind of teaches other people how to plan social media for companies,
She Chinese?
right? Yes,
Yes.
yes. I think Vanessa Lau. I think her name is.
Awesome.
Dude, she is absolutely amazing. She's uh, probably one of the smartest people when it comes to that stuff. But she has an Instagram course that, she teaches all that stuff. Just on her Instagram course, she made well over $1 million selling this course,
There you go.
which is absolutely insane.
Yep.
But she grew her Instagram to 150,000 people, and she was like, "Listen, all I need is 10% of those people to buy this course, and I'll make well over $1 million."
Which
And
Because the
Go ahead.
numbers don't lie.
exactly.
it's that thing where it's like you could see how do you measure the allocation of followers that you have to actual new revenue that you're making from those followers, or how can you turn those followers into actual fans of your business or band or product or whatnot. Like you take a percentage of that and of 150,000, 10%. I mean, that's all that really matters is percentage is buying that. And
Yeah.
even if you have, we started out with, I think it was like 200, and we're getting more and more, but like, it's a lot of work. It's not, you got to be consistent. You got to engage, and, you got to try different things. And by what you said, Tim, it's really smart to go and, instead of guessing, just fucking go on YouTube, find somebody like her and listen and apply those strategies. I mean, they're great.
Yeah.
He's another great dude for musicians. See, like that, you're in a realm where like you're doing it for a company, and I do it for companies as well. But it's like I want to do it for more musicians. So because musicians are like the lost ones out there, the guys that don't know where to start.
Yeah.
That's what we're really catering to. So when when you interview somebody like you've already put in that time. So it's a little different perspective. So it's very interesting to me. You come in and you're paying attention to now helping this brand or this manufacturer become more branding into it. Can you kind of talk about the kind of content that you're putting out that's resonating with that brand, and kind of identifying what's more, what's sticking and what's not? And
Oh, for sure. I mean, the best content, and this works for me as well. The best sort of content is any sort of content that allows the person that's following you to give you their opinion, right? So, for example, if we turn around for this leather company and we post, hey, we're going, me and my guy Pat that works there as well. We're very close friends. We're going on a cross country motorcycle trip with this brand for the next. I think we're planning it for May. And the cool part about it is we turn around, we post a picture and say, hey, we're planning this trip. Where should we go? What cities should we stop in? What restaurants? What motorcycle shops? So on and so forth. Guaranteed, somebody wants to give you that information because they're like, oh, well, I really love this place. Let me go in and let me tell you how I feel. And they'll engage with that all day.
Powerful.
And they'll just that forces us onto their feed 10 times more because they're engaging with our posts. On
There you-
top of that, you have Instagram stories, which are massive and widely underused for a lot of just everyday people. Businesses know, they know the deal. They know that everybody's looking at Instagram stories more than they're looking at feed posts. So a company that I love looking at is Bespoke Post. Bespoke Post it's like a monthly subscription box
Sure.
that for $45 they send awesome stuff out.
Mhm.
But the smartest thing that they do is every Tuesday they have couch trivia.
Nice.
So what this does is they'll ask 5 questions, random questions, random stuff. When was the marshmallow invented? They'll do
Very,
themed.
very bespoke.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What was the first Harley Davidson? What year did this happen? When was the last, World's Fair in New York? Stuff like that, random stuff.
Mhm.
But every time you click on one of those posts or swipe up on a post or anything like that, that forces the algorithm to look at what you're interacting with and feed you more of that stuff.
Gotcha. So it's
So
like retargets you because AI
exactly.
said, "Hey, this person likes more of this content," and now that's part of the algorithm. How you doing?
Yep. If you go down your Explore feed and all you do is like pictures of guitars,
Mhm.
it's going to send you pictures of guitars nonstop.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's just how that works.
Now
That's how that algorithm works.
conversely, if you're building your Instagram and you want more of the engagement of people who like guitars and you're a guitarist, let's just say, and you're using PRS, let's just say, and or Ibanez like you, um, and you want to get endorsed by them, but you're not even close yet, and you just want to start getting people that are using Ibanez guitars, it would behoove you not to go to their site or their page, right, and then start clicking in to those pictures and then start clicking into those followers that are following that and just liking their stuff, 3 pictures, right? The $80 thing that Gary has.
Dude, the $1.80 thing is perfect. You go in, you like 3 pictures, or you comment on, the top however many pictures in that hashtag.
Mhm.
Hashtags are widely underused. People use them. They think that, if they hashtag their picture motorcycle,
Mhm.
then, oh, well, all these people are going to see it. It's like, guy, you have 15,000 posts a day on that hashtag.
Right.
Yours is gone in 2 seconds.
Right.
If you hashtag it, Harley Davidson FXDB, so
Mhm.
it's
The
your
type of
motorcycle
frame it is.
specific.
Yeah.
Exactly, the type
Yeah.
of motorcycle or frame or this or motor or whatever it may be, then it's a little bit more specific
Mhm.
and you get way more engagement from people because for example, uh, you can go to that hashtag and that hashtag could have 3 daily posts on average,
Mhm.
3 of them.
Right.
So your post will sit on that page for 3 days because you have your first 9 pictures that show up.
Yep.
Um, so instead of your post sitting on the Harley hashtag or the motorcycle hashtag
Oh, nice.
for 25 seconds, it sits on that specific hashtag for 3 days.
Very
And
powerful information here, by the way. If whoever's listening, that's huge. And in the marketing and Google advertising, and how do you drive down the cost of acquisition per key search term that you use, which is in this case a hashtag? You get you more unique. You don't just say bicycle, you say 10-speed green bicycle. You get more specific,
exactly.
and then your cost for that keyword search term goes down, and then the traffic that you're getting is way more quality than over quantity, and
Yep.
you can earn much more because you're getting that very highly targeted traffic. So each platform that you are doing this on is pretty much comparable to each other platform, except it has its own way. YouTube has meta tags, Instagram has
Yes.
hashtags,
Exactly.
Facebook has hashtags too, or ats, right? But the ats are
Yep.
from angles too. But you said something very, very, very important, because you can have the hashtags that bring in 50 million, right? And then you see the lower ones that are 5,000, and then you have maybe like 26,000, and you want to get kind of in the middle there as well. But if you're more unique and you say, a roadster, right? Like I don't know
Yeah.
motorcycles. Well, is it a Harley? Is
Yeah.
it a Harley or is it
They did make a
Sportster.
model called they did
Did
no
they?
they did make a model called the Roadster back in the late 70s, early 80s.
a
Okay.
roadster now is what a Yamaha? My brother got something recently.
I think so. Maybe the Roadstar. I'm not
Roadstar.
sure.
But you're being specific. It's not just Harley. It's
Yes.
it's
Yes.
Sportster or whatever.
And don't get me wrong, there definitely is use for those larger hashtags. So I don't know if you guys follow that dude, Finn McKenty. So I don't know him personally, but when it comes to Instagram marketing and hashtags and stuff like that, he basically instilled this. I think it was called like the 10-10-2 rule.
Mhm.
Basically, it was 10 like lower register hashtags,
Mhm.
10 medium size hashtags, and then 2 large, where you might hit hashtags that have only 15,000 posts or 30,000 posts or something like that. But because their daily average post count is less than 10 posts a day, the amount of reach, it's a higher reach probability because it's sitting on that hashtag for a longer period of time.
Okay, so low, medium, 10 low, 10 medium, 2 high.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
And he posted about this hashtag website. It's like a kind of like a tool. It's called flick.tech.
I just
And
Flick account too because
did
I'm like,
you?
yeah, because it kept charging me and I'm like, I had the $1.80 thing, so it was like one or the other,
Yeah.
So I was like, I thought I could just use the Instagram technology that it's already inherently in there,
Yes.
apply it, which I've been doing. So it's like, I don't know. We're again targeting as a podcast independent musicians, right? So
Yeah.
so there's only so much, but the drummers and guitarists, then the producers, then you have the
Oh yeah.
law behind it. You have like all these different aspects of it. So it's very interesting. So yeah, you're not to mention your band contributes to that, but branding on your own, you're showing like a three-dimensional side to you, which we talk about here a lot, is not just showing your band stuff all the time, even though you could do that on your level because you're at a certain level where you put in that time. But if you're just starting out or whatever, people want to see what you like, and that makes you unique, right?
Oh
Makes you
yeah.
more than just doing the check my music out. This is our new release or blah blah blah.
Exactly.
I love nice.
People don't want to be forced into buying a product. You have to do it in a way where, people want to think that they're buying the product on their own.
Right.
They're listening to the music on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So the subtle approach, I mean, it's just like somebody walking up to you in a store, right? So if I walk into a Guitar Center, I know that some dude is going to walk right up to me and get in my face and be like, "What do you want? How can I help you?" Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, fuck off. I know exactly what I'm getting. Leave me alone.
Yep.
Whereas there's certain other stores where you walk in and there's a girl sitting at the front on her phone, just checking Instagram, not helping you at all.
Right.
Which is also the worst in the world. Because
Right.
if you do want to help, but
Yeah.
the girl that walks up to you and says, "Hey, I'm here if you need help, just holler."
Yep.
That's your perfect interaction because she's there for a backup plan, but she's not down your throat and she's not neglecting you. It's
Yep.
the same thing with marketing your music. You don't want to shove shit down people's throats. You post it up for people to see, but you don't. I mean, dude, I can't tell you how many people that I respect the hustle,
Mhm.
but 9 times out of 10, if somebody messages me like, "Hey man, listen to my music, blah 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 blah," when we haven't had a real conversation,
Yeah.
ain't happening, bud. Like I'll be like, "Yeah, I'll listen to it. Cool."
It's interesting you say that because
Important.
we had Jesse Zaretti from Binary Code on here as one of our first episodes. And Jesse kind of said a similar thing. Like, he does a lot of music for Marvel and, which in turn is for Disney. And excuse me. And he was saying, like, people will literally hit him up on Instagram or through his website and go, how do I get in touch with Marvel and steal your job? It's like, that's never going to happen. And I think
No.
in the culture of like the push button society of like where we've gotten with Instagram, the access you have to people unbridled through Facebook and stuff like that, we've gotten to a point where, you have to learn how to finesse it a little bit more than just, hey, bro, would you put me on 50 likes? Like Gary Vee gets that all the time. And he says, you know what, sit down. I'm not doing that.
Gary Vee,
Yeah.
he'll put his fucking number out there and want to get
Yeah.
10. And like,
yeah, but that's the number that
It's
spams
marketing.
you with too.
Well, yeah, that's a marketing tool. What people
Yeah.
don't realize is that text me
text me thing. Yeah.
That's all a marketing ploy, dude. 90% of the time, those dudes do not check those messages. Because they get blown up so much, they do not check those messages. They look at it as just another way to say, okay, I have your cell phone number. What I can do is I can send you a text.
Yep.
Right now, I'll say this: I've signed up for one, and the reason why I signed up for one is because I'm a big Burt Kreischer fan.
Nice.
And a lot of times he'll put up tour dates and stuff like that early through that text thing. So he'll put it on early and say, hey, I'm coming to this city, blah, blah, blah. Or, because they do geo-targeting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they know where the phone numbers are. So they'll target our areas, say, hey, I'm coming to New York, I'm coming to Long Island, and I'm coming to New Jersey. Tickets go on sale next Friday, but you can get yours early here. Right. I'm like, all right, cool. That's something that I personally am interested in. But, dude, I don't want text messages from Gary Vee, like, personally.
No, neither would I. I get it, and that's smart. So the way you're using it with Burt is you're a fan and you want that access, and that's where that's where it's powerful in the geo-targeting aspect of like knowing the area code. And as a business, not just a creator, you're being able to take that, and now you have a list of people that can pretty much opt in for your other products or other things that you're selling or other offers.
Yes.
Regardless of that, it's pretty powerful, man. Like I use a platform called Go High Level, and what it allows us to do is it allows me to use what on the back end, Twilio, right?
Yeah.
It's very cheap, and it gives you a number that's forwarded or masks your number, and you could send out mass text through that way. And it's a great way to take your fan list, right, and just optimize it that much more or monetize it that much more by getting it out. So like you can get a message from a call, which that wouldn't happen. You can get a text message or you get an email. Now you can get a text message and an email from your band, and you could feel that much more important and get exclusive rights to have tickets to this show before we come, before they sell out, before anybody else does. That's a great way to give fans a feeling, make them feeling important, which is another really important thing. I mean, one thing that I talk about here too is that, being in a band as well, like in playing and not being able to get people's names at a show, or like not having somebody have people sign up a mailing list, is literally pissing in the wind. And now, with this shit going on, what you do have the opportunity to do is get your content targeted organically. You target the best you can, but then when you have a buildup of a single coming out instead of just a full album, because if you're not in a band like yours, the best thing you could do is singles, right? You have
500%.
Right, and you can milk that shit, and you can put all the content around that one song, the evolution. Here's what I start.
So hold on one second. So we talk about this all the time, though.
Interrupted me.
Fit for an autopsy. Yeah, but hold on one second. But with Fit for an Autopsy, what are you guys actually doing in that space?
Of
like releasing
not touring?
singles? Well, not touring, but releasing singles one at a time. Or you guys, because Nuclear Blast, I would think we released a record all at once, right?
So we do a traditional method of single, then release the record.
Gotcha.
Whereas you have a pop method where it's more of a single, and then it's kind of like a compilation of singles, years down the line, or months down the line, whatever. I will agree with you Greg, realistically, bands nowadays, if you really want to hit it and you really want to make sure that you're always pushing out content, I would do a new song every 2 months
Mhm.
and just do that for a year and a half or something like that.
Thank
You
you for
know,
saying it from the horse's mouth. I've been saying
Yeah.
it for fucking ever, and I'm not in the band anymore because of this kind of thing. I got kicked
yeah.
out.
Yeah,
because-
this is a great story. So this is a recurring theme. You got to tell them the whole story though.
Oh, I'll make it
Because
short.
from a marketing point of view, like a branding point of view, it's fucking laughable. Like you're not laughable, Greg, but how it went about was kind of laughable.
I was a big fan of a band. I got asked to drum for them, and I was really happy about it. And I saw a lot of potential in them, and I love their music. And I'm like, fuck, this is awesome, you know? And like, we're about to release our EP, and I'm like, all right, well, we need to talk about this because we're not going to release all 3 songs. They're like, okay, well, we're going to have one video, and then we're going to put out all 3 songs. And I'm like, no, I disagree with that. And this is why. And I talked about what you're talking about. I show them all the things that I've courses I have that teach me how to do this right. And these guys completely ignored me and just put out a fucking EP. Nothing
Flopped.
Nothing happened. I mean, I did a couple Spotify campaigns and we got some good listenership, but like nothing monetized, nothing went into like getting new fans or anything like that. And I'm going up to them. I'm like, all right, now we need to make a drum video. We need to make a guitar video. We need to make the infancy of this song where it started from Alex's, you know, fucking mind to like, you know, just like all these different pieces of content around that one song. And then for 2 months, we'll be able to put this build up towards it for 3 weeks before it comes out. And then for 2 months, we're going to ride this and put that content around that. And then each week we'll have something towards that. And like, I had this whole plan and they're like, no, we're definitely not doing that. So, you know, I asked them to just use me as a hired gun because I'm not being utilized correctly. And like, it's my time's money. And I want to do this right. And then they're like, yeah, all right. So you got to tell us in advance if we're going to do something like this. And I'm like, okay, I'm telling you in advance. So months went by and then they just didn't do anything. And like, you know, nothing happened. And then they basically texted me and just said, yeah, we have difference of opinions. We'd rather, you know, not be in the band. And who knows what they're going to do now, but awesome band, great music, good bunch of guys. I like them.
Their whole 600 Instagram fans.
But like, listen, you guys, and here it is. I've literally been kicked out of a band because of this whole thing that we're talking about, where we have a mass society that just consumes and eats fucking content, and it's gonna be thrown out the window. We release an album. We're not in your shoes, Tim. We're not the Deftones, and they're go, well, the Deftones do this and this band. I'm like, we're not that band, and we're not going to ever be that band if we keep thinking that we're going to release things like them, because we're not doing that. Nobody gives a shit about us, and nobody will.
Yeah.
Unless we put it out a correct way, that way may change again in the future, which it very well might. But however, this is the best way to do that. And like, you can have a lyric video. I mean, you can have the drum video, the guitar playthrough, all that shit. But like, they didn't want to do any of that. And it's just like, if you're in my shoes, like, and I'm not in your shoes, Tim, I'd want to do everything I can to get myself in front of the right people and engaged the right way in any way possible. So going back to what you're saying, that's my story. That's where I'm at right now. And now I'm recording my own stuff on my own, since I play multi instruments and I'm getting recording. But like, now I'm going through this. I'm going to be doing this whole trial and process by myself because I was never able to do it in a band that I actually liked. And now we're here. So when you're in your shoes, you could pretty much do the 3-song single thing and then release an album. That would be fine too. You can even do the pop model as well. And you could probably be successful at that. But when you have a label like Nuclear Blast behind you, you don't have to really worry about that as much. Like you were saying. Like,
you still do. Because, I mean, if you think about it, so for this record cycle, right, we did a video for our first single. Actually, so we did 3 videos for all 3 singles.
Nice.
And we did a video that we weren't in for Mirrors. We did a studio video for Sea of Tragic Beasts. For Shepherd, we did a single take studio video for it. It was literally one shot throughout the whole thing. It was
Nice.
literally one take. It was the most stressful fucking thing in the world.
I'm sure.
And then while we were on our album release tour, so we released those 3 album, or the album came out. We went on tour a couple days later, whatever it may be. And while we were on tour, we recorded another video, a live performance video for a 4th single for Warfare. So we were just constantly recording videos.
Mhm.
Not to mention we recorded every member of the band minus Will did a playthrough video.
Mhm.
Then besides the playthrough videos, we did studio updates, we did studio teasers, we did all this other crazy shit,
Mhm.
because you have to constantly have that content, especially when a record first drops. You
Sure.
want to be putting shit out, at least once every 3 weeks, or a month, so on and so forth.
Mhm.
But one thing that I wanted to touch on that I always called the Amazon effect was that people nowadays want things literally right now.
Yeah.
They want that instant gratification. They don't want to wait for anything. And when they have to wait, they move on to the next fucking thing.
Yep.
So with any band, unless you're so big that small dip and that small fluctuation in I guess um
The exception.
no that audience retention, like you're retaining that audience. Unless you're massive,
Mhm.
you're not retaining those fans are like, all right, well, you're not putting stuff out. I found 10 other bands that are doing the same thing. So a band like Deftones is a little bit different because they've been around for however many years. They've been around for 25 years. They're not going to lose that audience. They're not going to
Almost
lose that
30.
whole audience. Yeah, exactly.
Almost 30.
Same thing.
Adrenaline came out in 94. So almost 30.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I was 5.
Yeah, I was working at Acme Underground in New York City at that point.
But a band like Slipknot, Mike, we've talked about
Yeah.
Slipknot a bunch of times on
Yeah.
our calls. Like,
Yeah.
those dudes are awesome, but the retention, retention of their fans, they're going to retain those fans forever.
Mhm.
I mean, they still have to go out and put
the
up.
brand loyal. I mean, so
Exactly.
that's almost like what I want to next thing I want to talk to you about is kind of that, brand loyalty. Now, I mean, marketing is one thing through Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. But in your, because I know you also do some brand leveraging and brand marketing stuff. How do you get that consumer to be brand loyal like NASCAR fan? Like literally, like you said, retain those fans forever.
It's hard, but those people have to relate to you.
Mm.
And
Relevant.
exactly. And being able to relate to a company, being able to relate to a band. I mean, the reason why, and we could talk about politics another time,
Yeah.
but the reason why people like politicians is because they see a little bit of themselves in that person, right? It's the same reason why people like bands. It's the same reason people like, brands and stuff like that.
The hero
Somebody
archetype.
that is somebody that's it's a massive Nike fan is like, all right, well, say for example, if they're an athlete, they're like, oh, well, I can see myself in the same shoes literally as this athlete or that athlete or so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Musicians and fans of bands relate to more so the music and the lyrics.
Yep.
You have bands that, I mean, you're going to get those bands that talk about zombies and fucking aliens and stuff like that, which is fine. They have their place, and people love that stuff because it's, brutal or whatever it may be. But the reason why people relate with a lot of bands is because they see themselves and they align themselves with the same either ideologies or it really hits close to home
Trials
for
and
them.
tribulations, because
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of the hero archetype.
here's kind of a question
Exactly.
leads to kind of a fine line, right? You know, you get to a point where you're like you and you put in this time with your band for since forever now, and you're at that level. You know, where do you draw the line between friend and fan? Because it really does come, they feel like they could be your friend. I mean, I've had people not waste my time, but become like, you're at a show and you're talking to people and they're literally demanding your time and they're following you around. They could follow me around. It's a show. It's great. But like, it's like, dude, I'll be right back. And he's like, yeah, but my mom's dying and like all this. And it's like,
Oh, jeez.
Uh,
Oh, the mom dying thing.
well, you know, it's kind of like, you know, what are you going to do? Like, no, it's like, dude, you know, you sympathize with it, but you can't appease everybody. Right. So it's like, I find that probably at your level you probably run into that where you're like, okay.
so it's really hard to draw the line for certain people. But luckily, because I've been doing it for so long, I know how to do it, and I know how to do it with, I guess you could say, I think the right word is couth.
Cool. Yeah.
You know, it's you don't want to be a dick. You want to be stern enough to where you're like, hey man, like we're not homies like that, but like, you know, I'll help you out, I'll talk to you, no problem. There are certain people that are fans that do become friends.
Yeah.
You know, there are definitely people that I've met, either we crashed at their house or, you know, we see them every single time we go to a certain area, or you know, just a plethora of reasons why they could become a friend.
Yeah.
There's definitely those certain people that overstep those boundaries, and I'm like, dude, like you don't know me. Like, you know what I post on Instagram, but you don't know me.
Yeah.
You know, and I've had people ask about, like, you know, my grandma or like my mom or, you know, stuff like that. And I'm like, that's kind of weird, but like, I get it. Like, I post pictures of my mom, you know, on Instagram and whatnot.
And my sister's gotten to the point with her Instagram profile that she won't post pictures of my niece anymore.
Of course,
You know, just
and-
because.
and
That happens. And my sister
even
pictures of her newborn baby once, not
Yeah.
one, because she doesn't want anybody to like that vulnerability of somebody judging
yes,
her, one, and then two, like, I'm not letting you into my life. This is my precious little baby. Like,
of course.
I don't care what you think
Well,
of it.
that's like, you know, for example, Matt from Trivium, you know, on the kid thing, Matt won't post pictures of his kids' faces. You know, it's something that I feel that, you know, I've definitely heard certain people be like, well, what the fuck is that about? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like,
Dude.
whatever. Well, first of all, whatever his reason may be, I know the reason, but whatever the reason may be, it's not your fucking business, you know? And number two, it's like, hey man, he wants to establish that privacy. It's like, you can know, you know, plus, dude, you don't want some fucking weirdo, you know, hoarding pictures of your kid on the internet. You don't want some weirdo making memes with your kids' faces on it. You don't want, like, there's a shitload of reasons why someone would do that. So, you know, whenever anybody, you know, the you know, 2 or 3 times where they're like, you know, a fan is just like, why does Matt do this? Why does Matt do? It's like, first of all, it's
fucking right.
Exactly, it's his right as a father,
Yeah.
you know, and it's none of your business, dude. The guy wants a private lifestyle. For somebody that leads a life that is very, very much out there for fans, you know, like he can, dude, the band's massive, and you know, he turns around and he connects with all those people, and he still talks with all those people, you know, and he's the kind of guy that'll take the time out of his day to talk to you, and that's awesome. And he's a fucking awesome dude. But give the guy some fucking privacy. Allow him as a musician. And that doesn't go for just him, man. That goes for everybody else. People, because of social media, think that, you know, same thing, Amazon effect. They want everything now. So if they message you, you have to respond.
Yeah. And if you don't respond quick, they get impatient. Like, well, fine.
Exactly. Then you're an asshole. It's just like those dudes that hit up a girl on, you know, Facebook, and they're like, hey baby, blah, 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 blah. And the girl doesn't respond. And they're like, yeah, exactly. It doesn't respond because it's so, and then they get pissed off and like, you fat fuck, blah, 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 blah. And like, you know, these dudes attack these women, and like, I've had that happen to so many friends of mine, whether it be a guy messaging a girl because he wants to hit on her, or a girl messaging a guy in a band,
Mhm.
because she wants to know, what did this song mean? Nobody owes you shit. Nobody owes you anything. There's no reason why that person has to message you back. Maybe they'll do it as a courtesy. I message 90% of people back. I've gotten really bad within the last couple months,
Yeah.
because I'm working and I'm like, I have like 100 and something unread like messages on Instagram or whatever.
You hire
And
Fiverr to answer them for you.
dude, I really should.
There's 3 or 4 different messages that you can repurpose over and over again.
Jeez.
Yeah, I know, man. That's gotta get overwhelming a little bit.
But even still, it's people need their privacy and people need to respect that, man.
Yeah. Yep.
100%.
And that's the thing with, again, like with it's kind of like there's a balance. It's a delicate play here. You have the opportunity as a fan to get in touch with your favorite rock star, or your favorite celebrity, if even. And it's like those boundaries have been let down, and now because there's a DM to their Instagram, now you expect that message back. You expect them to communicate with you, and if they don't, you get all pissed off. And you got to still think like, okay, there's still real boundaries in this world of the internet. However, I think that it allows, especially in these times, it allows a band that may not have the opportunity that you're in, to really get in front of the right people and engage with them and do some type of Zoom meet and greet, and really get creative with it. Think outside of the box a little bit, because if you can't play shows right now, and you could do some couple live streams on that single that you're coming out with, and then you could go, hey, listen, man, I wrote this song about, basically, taking chances and people just not supporting you, and like you're getting depressed about it because nobody gives a shit about what you really want to do, and they're telling you what not to do because they're not
That's me.
they want to do. Like, that's a relatable subject that people project themselves out on you because they're not doing what you want to. What you want to do is something so much more grand and fulfilling.
Well, I think
That-
also too, I think people, like Tim said before, you want to see something that's relatable to the plight of your struggle, I think. And I think that's why people strap on to metal so hard.
Yeah.
Is there's a lot of dark topic that Katy Perry is not going to talk about.
Right. There's a story,
Roar just doesn't do it for me,
Yes, I agree.
underdog story.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pop songs that are way darker than people think they are.
Yeah.
And
Katy Perry
sometimes
dark, actually, Mike. I mean, she's been through
really.
yeah, she's. I
I
mean,
haven't looked into it too much personally.
Yeah, neither have I.
been
But
through-
no, but I mean, like,
around.
but you want to talk about like pop singers are dark. I agree with Tim. I mean, I've been I'm going to get laughed at by the present company, but I've been for the past month in love with the new Taylor Swift record because it is fucking
it's
dark
probably-
as fuck.
Dude, listen, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I in early 2018, right? I think it was early 2018, early 2018 or early or late 2017. Either way, I stumbled across an interview. I think it was on that channel Genius.
Okay.
And they did an interview with Billie Eilish about a song that she had called I Don't Want to Be You Anymore, right? So I was like, this girl's voice is really good. Let me look into this. And since that day, dude, absolutely blew me away.
Mhm.
Her songs are so insanely dark. And for, at the time she was 16, writing these lyrics with her brother, like at their house, right?
La Cañada.
Yeah. And, people give her a lot of shit. They're like, oh yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And dude, her and her brother is an absolutely insane musician.
Phineas. Yeah.
Dude, I watched an interview with him about the sounds that he put on her full length record that released a couple years ago or last year, whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, mind blowing. And and it's just me being a music fan.
Mhm.
I've been a
Right.
music fan forever, so it doesn't matter whether it's the hardest metal stuff in the world for me. If I can relate to something and that music makes me feel something or some sort of way,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go towards it.
That's a beautiful thing, and it taps into kind of another point. That guy's just being himself, man. He's just all about what he does.
Yeah.
Like, again, we kind of tap into this as we talk, and it's common thread through a lot of our episodes is just be yourself, man. If you're really into something and if you're if you're playing certain gear, or you love your gear, talk about it. Talk about the
Yeah.
sound. Like I got this Kemper, and I really like it because of XYZ, and I'm getting these sounds. Like, check this
Yeah.
out. It's like all you're doing is just documenting how awesome what you love is, and like you're being authentic. You're not faking it. You're not trying to
Yes.
be cool. And I think that's the thing. You got to be authentic. And if you're not, people fucking read right through that shit. And
Yeah, there's definitely certain people, and not certain people. There's a shitload of people in the music industry that are just sitting there faking the funk, raking in the money, and it catches up with you, man. It really does. And like, there's no amount of money in the world that somebody could give me to just fake the funk, and say, "Hey, man, you gotta, either put a smile on or shave your beard off and cut your hair and blah blah." I mean, yeah, if it's literally a billion dollars, yeah, obviously, sure.
got a million.
Um, for $1 million, no, because $1 million is attainable. You know,
Whoa! Look at
I
like,
you.
like
oh, no,
that.
no, no,
I like that right
no, no,
there.
no, no. Like, if you think about it,
No,
it,
is.
it's doable. I mean, it's doable for everybody if you. No, I don't want to say if you put
Willing to
the work
work.
in. You could put the work in
The right.
and not get it.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people that are putting the work in, but if you put the work in and you're smart enough to do it, bro, anybody could do it. Like, I know this girl
Mhm.
that has a multi-million-dollar company because she understood and realized that there was nobody in the world making an actual riding boot for girls. Nobody. Like, there's literally nobody, you
Market
know?
need. She just saw the market need.
Exactly. And she saw that need in the market, and she turned around, started making boots
Oh,
in New York, saying, "Oh wow, like, let me make motorcycle boots for girls that actually ride motorcycles, not girls that just take pictures." Fucking killing it. She backed when COVID hit and everybody got their stimulus money and stuff like that. Dude, her orders went through the roof.
oh, right, right. Because yeah,
Through the roof.
people are buying shit. Yeah.
Exactly. So you got to understand that market. You have to understand the market that you're trying to get into, and you have to realize that it's a time and money thing. If you have 90% time, then you have the ability to put in less money. And the same thing, if you have no time, you're going to have to spend more money.
And
It's a balance thing.
that's the thing. It's the kind of the 80-20 rule. And so doing, like, we use this podcast as an example. There's certain activities that are better growth activities, like going and finding guests. Like Mike, he's really good at it. Like yourself,
Yeah.
Tim, great guest. Pleasure having you, by the way. Seriously,
Hell yeah.
conversations we've had ever, straight up, and that makes me very happy, and that's important. So if we don't have good guests, we suffer. We're not giving value back out to the listener.
Obviously.
And there's also things that go into making this. Like, I have to do content creation. Mike does the editing on Premiere. It's like, it's not a lot of stuff, but it's enough stuff to get you tangled up, where if you're not good at something and you can't delegate it to somebody else, you need to learn that and see, okay, I have to do this. So I'm going to have to learn a little bit of editing skills, because that's going to help me release my videos or my podcast. So that needs to happen, right? Guests, interviewing guests, I need to focus on that, because that's going to help me grow the podcast. So if that can all seem very overwhelming very quickly, and it is
Yeah.
overwhelming, but you have to take it in stride and see what things you're not good at. And you can go on a site like Fiverr or Upwork, and you can hire somebody to do things that you're not going to be good at. That's going to help you streamline that process. And I'm talking about for money that you would go buy there you go, for like a fucking
I
cup of coffee. Like you can go for the
Yeah.
for 5 to 7 days you're spending on coffee. You could take that money, invest it into your business or your advertising or somebody to do that for you while you focus on creating great content, because
Yeah.
that's great. And if you're in a band, the content's already there. Just you need to document it, you know? And it's like,
Yes,
okay,
I think too. Also, it's like if you don't look at it as a pipeline, like constantly, like
Yeah.
well,
I
okay.
don't care. I don't care what it is. I
Sure.
mean, for me, like when we do the podcast, like me and Tim met outside of the podcast, but the thing was, is like I like this guy's vibe so much. We need to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Where do we
Yeah.
fit? Where does this fit in?
Well,
You
Tim
know,
fits in on all levels of a musician. One,
yeah, and he's also a great entrepreneur too, with all the other stuff he does.
ideal candidate for this show.
Right.
And just for interesting, just learning and picking your brain. Like we've learned so much today, and that it's kind of like we're getting over the hour now, and we could keep going, I'm sure. But you know, I like to tie it down and kind of summarize what we're talking about here. You know, you have an album out now. You want to just tell us a little bit, like kind of just tell us what's out right now and what's to come, and then again, guys, you know, we're coming from the horse's mouth here. He's saying if you're in a position where you're not, you know, the Deftones or Tool or Fit for an Autopsy, and you guys want to get yourself out there, you know, there's a way of doing it, and you got to fucking make sure that you're grinding it out every day. You're putting stuff out there that's really engaging and that's relevant to people's emotions and that they can relate to. And if you can't relate to that, you're not going to be relatable and you're just going to be passed off, but like everybody else. You got to stick out. And the only way to do that is consistency.
Yeah.
On our level, on a level like, you know, if you're not the Deftones or like Tim, but Tim's still doing that and he's doing it for companies, he's helping them grow them exponentially, and they're growing much faster because of his efforts.
Yeah. A lot of bands don't realize that, you know, this is a business, man. It's a business. They call it music business for a reason. You know, when I was 16 years old, dude, all I wanted was money and girls and a tour bus and playing shows. That's fine. But you're not going to get there unless you understand that it's a business. Every move you make has to be a business move. It has to be for the betterment of either your band or for whatever it may be that you're working on. Even you know, me doing the leather work, you know, I can't just turn around and say, you know, oh well, this is this is a product that, you know, is okay, you know, I'm just going to put it out anyway. You want to put out the best damn product that you possibly can, and you want to market it properly. You want to understand there's so many different aspects to running a business that band dudes don't understand.
Right.
You know, band dudes, you know how many times I've had to explain recoupable funds to bands that are unsigned,
Oh
and
yeah.
they're
Every
like,
time.
what? They're like, what the fuck is that? I'm like,
Oh,
guy,
you don't
you
know
think,
about that?
yeah, you think that they're just gonna give us X amount of thousands of dollars and
Because we're nice
say,
guys.
yeah, it's just because, and they're not gonna take that back? What are you talking about?
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Dude, I've had that conversation
Stark
plenty of times.
reality.
Yeah, I've had that, dude. I sat in a van. I sat in a van with a band. This is back in, I want to say 2012. I
Okay.
sat with this band that they're still doing stuff now, but definitely not as much as they used to. You know, they'll go on one tour every 3 years. I sat in a van with them in Jacksonville, Florida, and I listened to them turn around and say, "Oh, well, you know, we don't need an agent, we don't need a manager, we don't need a label. We're just going to do everything on our own, and we're just going to network with bands, and us and other bands are just going to make that whole business model obsolete." And I'm like,
Okay.
good luck, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck. You know what? You think you could do that? Fine.
Yeah.
Cool. That's totally fine. But I mean, I don't know at what point they realized that they were wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But don't get me wrong. There's definitely certain bands that can do that. But if you're doing that, you have to put in 500% of your time.
Mhm.
It's possible. You can go book your own tours, you can go manage your own band, you can fund your own stuff. Bands can do that.
Some of them have no choice.
The one I can think of that's done it, the only one that's really done it the best like that is Andy DeFranco
Yeah,
in
dude.
the recent past 30 years.
There's other bands. I think, okay, so label wise, right? I'm pretty sure Between the Buried and Me releases their own stuff. Like they just have enough money where they record, but they still have management and a booking agent.
Sure.
You know, they're not doing everything DIY.
Right.
You know, because at some capacity you need that. You
Yeah.
need those favors. You need that, that booking agent that has another agent either in his pocket or something like that to be like, hey, listen, because that's how that's how it works, man. Like bands.
These are good points. It's what I was going to say is if you're at a certain level where you need a manager, that's great because,
Of course.
you're busy on, playing shows and creating content for engaging awesome fans, your awesome relationships with your fans. But a lot of us don't. But I'd say, like, if there was anything and it was do it yourself, right? A booking agent would be awesome, right? If you didn't have anything else going for you, that booking agent allows you to play better shows. If the show thing was still going on,
Yeah, exactly.
And then obviously, somebody that would help with marketing, if you're not really good at marketing. But the one thing that you throw all your time, it's so funny because you can have shit music and be awesome at marketing and be really doing really, really well, and have amazing music and not be good at marketing and just never go in.
Okay, the same thing with product, right? So realistically, you look at any high-powered laptop out on the market right now.
Yeah.
I'm talking fucking primo laptop. And you're talking, you can get one for, $1,500, terabyte hard drive, 64 gigs of RAM, the whole nine, top tier, right? A MacBook is still going to be $1,000 more than that.
And there's a reason.
It's going to underperform it.
Yeah.
10 times out of 10. But that's because their marketing is absolutely insane.
There you go.
I have a MacBook. I literally have 2 iPhones. 2. I don't sell drugs, I promise. One's not a burner phone.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'd be a burner phone and it wouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly.
Too expensive to be a burner.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like
not
a
7-Eleven enough.
Yeah, it's not a track phone or an old Nextel or whatever. Not Metro PCS. But it's funny because their marketing is just perfect. Their brand image is absolutely insane, and honestly, there's not many companies technology-wise that have a better, I guess you could say, brand image and marketing strategy than Apple. Apple has it's insane. It's literally insane when you dissect it and you go through everything and their business model and all that stuff. That's the reason why they're a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yep. And the way to look at, like, okay, we're not Apple, but how do we follow that psychology that they have that sticks out? Like, if you just put an Apple, like anything, like there's like, okay, so I'm in advertising and in marketing, right? So it's like I talk to a fucking, an HVAC or a plumber guy. It's like you're going to put up a billboard, right? And you're going to get all this traffic that's going by, but how much is relevant to plumbing? Probably
of course.
very little of it. And
yeah,
a Starbucks sign on a billboard, everybody's gonna know who that is. They don't need to think. Right? You don't have to measure that. They're huge, right? But you want to be able to measure what's coming in, or be able to monetize, or a following that you have on Instagram, instead of just saying, oh, I have 46,000 followers. How many of those people, how many email do you have? All 46,000 emails of those followers? That's great. You have 46,000 followers. Now get 46,000 of those followers to give you their email and their name and their number.
So now check this out. There's 2 things that I take away from what you just said. So starting off with the plumber thing, right? So we'll do a plumber thing, and then we'll do the email thing. So starting off with the plumber thing, right? You put up a billboard in, Brooklyn or something like that. Nobody's going to care, because when they're looking at that, they're not thinking about that. You can take an ad out in a newspaper. When they're looking at that, passing that by, they don't care that a plumbing ad is in a newspaper.
Okay.
The only time that you're going to get somebody's attention is when it's on their mind. So if they need a plumber, where are they going to go? They're going to go to Google. They're going to go straight to Google and type in Long Island plumbers, or plumbers on Long Island, or plumbers in Queens, plumbers in Brooklyn. You put all of your ad marketing dollars into that, and you put all that SEO content on your website. You are going to be the top 10 listings on Google.
Yep.
Guaranteed. If a plumber, instead of spending $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 on a fucking billboard, right? He could probably spend $2,000 to $3,000 a month on a Google Ads marketing budget and do 20 times more business.
Kill it. And that's what I do with my, I start these guys on little budgets of like, we'll set it up for $1,000, but we have proprietary technology that takes those long term, best Long Island plumber, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just Long Island plumber, because you're going to get a lower keep acquisition. We're going to set it up correctly through this proprietary system. And that's going to make sure everything is not redundant and tripping over each other. And then what happens is that $1,000, which anybody else would use on their own, they would eat through it in 3 days. But mine, $500 can last a fucking month for you and build up that backflow. And then all of a sudden, 3 months later, you have leads coming in. Now that proved that it works,
Is that
right?
plumber joke, backflow?
So now check this out.
Now we can fucking pump it out, and we can start getting that.
So now going to the email thing, right? I'm not going to say what company it is, and I'm not going to say what they gave away, but they gave no. They gave away a $20,000 item, right? What they did was they said, hey, sign up for this email to win, and you get a 25% off discount code.
Okay.
So what they did is they put it up on the website, and after 4 months, they had an extra 40,000 emails, and they did $80,000 off of those discount codes, right? So they did $80,000 profit, right?
Wow.
And they gave away a $20,000 item. That's $60,000 that they made off of just that 4-month campaign. So,
but that item that they were giving out of that's worth 20,000 was theirs. Probably they own it. They probably invested in it, and they reused it and repurposed it for incentives.
No, well, they bought it for the giveaway.
Okay, so they did. They invested in themselves, knowing that it would project to be way better on ROI. Like,
of course,
revenue.
Of course,
that's great.
For example, right now I could buy a guitar from Ibanez, right? I could buy a guitar from Ibanez, $2,500 guitar or whatever it may be. Turn around and say, hey, I'm doing a giveaway, blah 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 blah. I'm doing this giveaway, and everybody that buys a T-shirt from Tombstone Hardware, my clothing company, everybody that buys a T-shirt gets 1 entry or 5 entries or whatever it may be, and you could win this guitar. So realistically, it's more of a raffle than anything else, because you're taking money, and that money is just paying for that guitar plus an extra 200%, 300, 400, 500%,
right?
So there's so many different things that you could do marketing wise, and like a lot of bands don't capitalize on that stuff. They don't capitalize on any of that stuff.
It's taking what it is, but it's the confidence in knowing that if I have a certain network of people in my network, and I invest into getting something that I can get more names out of that would buy and put an incentive in front of them. If they buy a t-shirt, they're going to buy a t-shirt that's going to contribute to my company, that's going to help my company, and I'm going to get more, 200% more than an ROI above that. Like, that's just to even think that is great. To even implement it is even something more concrete and confidence in yourself to know that that's going to happen regardless. And it's having, taking those calculated risks that are going to set you up for success, and then kind of, just keep growing your brand and your business at the same time. Brand and marketing or branding is marketing, advertising is marketing. That's marketing, but there's advertising, right? And measuring the dollar allocations you have towards the investing and then getting that ROI. And then there's branding, which is basically showing people and keeping them engaged into buying your stuff. But branding doesn't work alone without having offers like what you just said.
But now here's how that cycles. I buy, even more than that. Say I buy a $5,000 motorcycle.
Yeah.
Right. Take that $5,000. I say, hey, every order gets you one entry to win this motorcycle. So they order t-shirts. Say I sell 1,000 t-shirts at $20 a pop. They cost me $5 a piece, right? So total, I'm investing $10,000. I'm making $10,000 off of that, right? Then I now have 1,000 people that are wearing my fucking t-shirt also.
So
that's more advertisement on top of doing that, and people share it and do all this.
A byproduct
You can go on for days with just different marketing, different marketing ploys and stuff like that, because everybody's been doing them for the last 50, 100, 200 years. I guarantee there was a dude 200 years ago, back in the turn of the 1700 or turn of the century going into the 1800s, being like, oh well, I can give you this, this grain of salt if you want to, buy 5 cloves of garlic or whatever.
Yeah. That's barter.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's taking one thing and then giving something of worth of value where I need this and you need this. So why don't we just trade? Because I have a lot of this and I don't have a lot of that. And I have a lot of this and you don't have a lot of that. So here you go.
Michael, did you tell Greg about my trading ploy?
Oh, what with the Camino or the Chevelle?
Chevelle? No. No.
This is great.
You didn't tell
this is some fucking legit. I have a penny. I'm going to jump it for a nickel, but now I'm going to jump it for a quarter, into $2, into 5, into 10.
So
legitimate bartering. Legitimate.
So I saw this dude on TikTok trading a cup of sand all the way up until he gets a Tesla.
Okay.
So, and then I found another dude that traded a paper clip all the way until he got a house.
How does that work?
So I'm trading a Hot Wheels car all the way up until I get a real 1970s Chevelle. So now check this out.
Okay.
I posted it up. Last night, I drove out to Staten Island and I traded a guy my Hot Wheels car for a signed Black Label Society record.
Nice.
So that was my first trade.
Wow.
Going from there, they go for anywhere between like $100 and $200, like, somewhere high 100s, low 200s.
Huge
I
step.
can trade it. Massive step up. I can trade that for a guitar, because realistically, somebody could buy a guitar, at cost for say $200, but that trade value, the actual street price on that guitar might be $400 or $500.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So it's just trading up and up and up until I get a real Chevelle.
You got that Black Label record with you?
I do.
Nice.
Well,
So
it's not. I mean, it's in my kitchen, but
no, but like meaning like you're gonna take that and try to trade that to get something.
Flip
it. Yep. So that Black Label Society record, is I'm probably gonna post it on Instagram, probably Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably post it on Saturday because obviously tomorrow and Friday are gonna be shitty days when it comes to Instagram algorithm stuff. But I'll post it on Saturday, and I'll see what people offer me. And
It's almost
somebody's
like
gonna
what
come
what
along.
Paul Rivera does with cars. If Paul Rivera, the amp builder, the son, Junior.
Oh no shit.
Go follow his Instagram because he's been
Wait,
like,
what's his Instagram?
hold on a second, because
I
this
think
is
I
important to
follow
the
him.
this is important. He just got an Aston Martin,
Uh-huh.
Oh no way.
and he was telling me it's the way I was like, it was very interesting how he presented it on Instagram. But Paul Rivera Jr., not to bless Paul out because I think this is kind of his private Insta, but yeah, Paul Rivera Jr.
No
Um,
shit.
but yeah, he's got pictures of it right, and the first thing you look at is
What do you trade to get up to that
so
level?
what he was doing. He wasn't so much trading, but he was explaining to me in a private message. He was like, "This is a great way if you can find the right car." It is similar.
Hmm.
You find the right car, you buy the first one with cash, but then you basically trade up, trade up, trade up, trade up, trade up, and because it's a great way to basically drive cars, and get cars that you want for no money,
Uh-huh. Well, there's
because you're using the same dollar value as you go along, and you're buying the right things to kind of barter and trade at the same
Yeah.
time.
now this ties into this, but it's a different side of it, which is interesting. Forget what book I was reading, but it's a good book, and but this is like influencers. You have a huge network, and you have a huge network of people following you.
Yeah.
Companies like Tesla or Aston Martin will give you their car to use, right? And you can use that car as long as you're taking pictures with it and you're posting it.
Oh yeah, there's a guy on TikTok that I follow, that his TikTok is so big. He's got like 5 million followers or something, 5, 6 million followers. Uh, every day of the week, he reviews a different car. And what's funny is he turns around and somebody asked him, they're like, well, you review all these cars. What car do you drive? And he went outside and he went to his driveway and he's just like, I don't have a car.
I
He's
drive.
like, I don't need a car. He's like, me and my wife moved out here a couple months back. And in order to move out here, we sold my car and the TikTok thing started taking off. So I started getting cars for weeks on end and stuff like that. He's like, I never go a day where I don't have two cars.
Right.
And whether it be a Telluride or a Dodge Durango or an Aston Martin, a McLaren, or whatever it may be, this guy's driving everything. He's reviewing minivans. He's reviewing smart cars, like, whatever it may be. And then he'll review an Aston Martin or, like I said, a McLaren or one of the new Corvettes or something like that.
That's fantastic. This like kind of with the mindset thing of like just being like not really you're being credible. He's driving these cars. He's actually reviewing them. So he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you know, it's funny because like I was listening to this guy named Kevin Turow. He's like a public speaker. He's a personal development coach. He's great. But like he said, he's like, I've lived in these houses and like I've lost everything and I've had everything. And the secret to my success and why I get more and more of these things is because I don't care if I lose it. I really don't care because I can get it again. And
Yes.
how much belief he has in himself, where he's like, I had everything and all the finest things. And like some guy offered me to buy it. And it was an offer that was going to make me way more money than my initial investment. And most people would stay attached to something and say no. He's like, no, I'll
Yeah.
just go do it again. I'll just go do it.
Yeah.
I don't care. So like, be passionate about something, but don't be so attached to it where you're afraid to lose it, because that's when you
Yeah.
really gaining more and growing and getting more out of things. So
To me, it's like personal growth, or not even to get that big on that conversation, but I think that moving forward in your life, whether you're trying to be someone like Tim who's made a career out of music,
yeah, which is awesome.
which is awesome, or be endorsed by Ibanez, which is also awesome.
Hey.
A guy. Um, you know, to me, it's the one thing that's ever stopped me in my career, and not to say that I haven't succeeded. I've succeeded a lot. Is there's always been that one thing you go, oh, I wish I did that because I hesitated.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I always tell people this: the phone can never bite you, Emails can't either. People can just say no
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
things. And, you know, I think we're so, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, because both of you guys are the marketing guys, not me. But we're so addicted to the dopamine fix of what the positivity we get out of likes and direct messages and memes and everything else. And they're coming at us at such a fast rate. You know, I was in my car yesterday driving somewhere to a meeting, and like, I'm sitting there looking at my phone and I get beep, boop, bop, beep, beep, but it's like 3 or 4 fucking things at once, man. And my brain's like, just stop, dude. One thing at a time. Alert me at one thing at a time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's so interesting how we've replaced, you know, our willingness to do things on people's fears and opinions that really probably don't matter in a lot of ways to get successful at what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Settling half fat, you know, just being able to just like make my day function and be a great day because somebody liked my stuff, and that's a great day for me. Like, I don't really give a fuck, but you know what? I thought this was really cool. I think somebody else would think it's really cool.
Yep.
But I can't let that dictate my mood or
Yep.
you know, my day, and like that's just no way to fucking live. So I think there's like again a delicate dance here where we're talking about branding, marketing, and driving, you know, fan engagement, and when to, you know, that fine line. There is a real delicate balance here. There's an ecosystem of things, but I'm all about automatizing and systematizing and being able to respond to things that really engage me, to the point where I have systems working in place, or you should have systems working in place where while I'm having this conversation with you, emails are going out, messages are being sent, offers are created, all these things are happening. And when I get off the phone, my email's full and I can look at it when I'm ready to look at it. And then, you know, another thing I'm going to say is when I wake up in the morning, I'm really doing a big thing where I write what I'm grateful for in the morning and I write what I'm grateful for at night. I focus on what I want in the morning. I focus on what I want at night. I read something that's good in my head. I don't look at the phone for an hour after waking up, and make sure that I'm just going around and just being grateful for everything I have. And I think for me, and some just kind of friendly advice, it's made my life so much easier on top, you know, doing all this other shit that we're talking about, that just staying detached from it, and the beep bop boop bop on the phone, like just to not have that happen for an hour is a great way to get centered and go about your day instead of just like really living by this fucking thing. And Tim, you more than anybody could probably attest to this because you're there, you're living that. So, you know, how do you stay, you know, more composed without having to like live by that demand of that engagement that you get?
Well, what sucks is that I'm on my phone 24 fucking 7. Unfortunately, that is, you know, my job, right? My job is social media, you know, whether it be with the band, you know, helping, or, you know, managing the band page, managing my personal social media, managing all that stuff. But there needs to be a time where you just put the phone down and fuck off for a little bit. You know, you have to have that ability and that mental strength, because everybody always wants that instant gratification. You know, they always want that stuff. So for me, it's more of a fact of saying, all right, well, you know, I have stuff to do. Let me just toss my phone in my room and I'll sit in my living room and I'll just do my work or do whatever. You know, and you have to get to that point where you're okay with that.
Yeah, I think that's important because we live by this instant gratification dopamine spike. You know, I need to see, I need to see, I need to look, and I find myself doing it. But the more I catch myself, the more outside of myself, I'm watching myself do it. I'm like, nope, don't. Or I'll start rewarding myself at the end of the night. So if I don't get a certain amount of things done by the end of the night,
Yeah.
I can't watch Netflix, or I can't do this. I can't like unwind. I can't go eat a snack until I'm through this this article that I'm reading that's going to contribute to my business, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's the opposite side of it where what the fuck did I get done today? Am I getting anything done? How am I moving forward? What the fuck's going on? You know? So what else can I do? And then it's like, okay, just relax, dude. Your mind's in the right place, your heart's in the right place. You're doing things methodically. You're trying to anyway, and you're implementing these things that you're learning. So just take it fucking easy and stop being so fucking hard on yourself.
Yeah, it's all it's all a balance of task management, man. It's all a balance of micromanaging yourself and basically having the discipline to manage what you're doing and make sure that you see projects through, and you actually complete what you need to get done. And if being off your phone for 4 hours out of the day to get stuff done needs to happen, then you need to discipline yourself to get off the phone and stop looking at Instagram. Stop looking. I mean, like I said, what sucks is that like I have to look at Instagram for that long, and I have to. But even still, social media is just one part of my job.
Mhm.
I do influencer management, and I'm also heading up the clothing side of things that we're starting to do. So I'm taking the knowledge that I have from running my own clothing company,
Mhm.
and I'm helping the company that I'm at now, jam into the t-shirts and the flannels and the hoodies and all that, all the accessories, all that stuff. Because they just did leather jackets for such a long time, and they had the occasional t-shirt,
Mhm.
but they just did leather jackets and vests, which are great. The product is fantastic.
You plug the company and just like, so people know, where to find it.
Oh, so the company is called First Manufacturing. We also have a fashion brand called Wet Blue, and it's just firstmfg.com. And they make great motorcycle jackets, great, motorcycle vests. We're starting to get into the swing of doing more lifestyle stuff like t-shirts and flannels and all that other stuff, like I said.
That
Um, but the product's fantastic. I actually worked there like 3 years ago doing sales, but I wasn't really a good salesman. Like over the phone sales for me is just not my calling.
brutal, bro. It's
Yeah,
brutal.
it's rough.
I do that too. That's where I started. I started
Oof.
marketing because I didn't want to do cold calling anymore.
Yeah, it's rough.
That's why basically I pick up a phone and just
I'm eating dinner.
well, I'm talking about, yeah, he's doing B2C. I was doing B2B, which is a little more you could swallow your pride a little bit easier when you're doing
Yeah,
it's a little different, and you're dealing with families. It's a lot more stressful, and
yeah,
yeah, so it could be a little more personal. But that's awesome, man. You're built. I'm like on the page. There's like 22,000 followers on this, and
yeah.
it's nice. It's the brand is really congruent. Beautiful stuff. I love motorcycles. I think they're badass. I'm a pussy. Uh,
Well,
my
when you
brother
do that motorcycle ride in May,
Yeah,
let me know. I'll introduce you guys to the Bartels.
yeah, that'd be
Really
great.
nice, and then
Yeah,
here,
that'd be absolutely awesome.
yeah.
That would be absolutely amazing. Yeah, I mean, when we come out, I mean, we're trying to do it in May. I think it's going to be me and my buddy Pat and a chase truck,
Oh,
and
awesome.
we're just going to ride. We're going to go down to, I think we're going to do Annapolis, Charlotte, Atlanta, or no, Annapolis, Charlotte, and then go up. And we'll do like from Charlotte, we're gonna go through like the tail of the dragon, like Smoky Mountains and stuff.
Through
Knoxville,
Nashville.
Nashville,
Yeah,
Memphis, then down to Dallas, San Antonio, and then over to LA.
that
nice.
that's some
Yeah.
riding right there, man.
Yeah, trying to do it. I haven't done a cross country trip yet, so it's a good excuse. And if the company's paying for my gas and my hotels, then
Birds with
you
one stone.
know, yeah. And what's great is that is content galore.
There
Yeah,
you
You
go.
know, you get a dude driving that can take photos, while you're riding next to each other. He can take photos of you riding, and then boom, if he takes 10 photos, that's 10 days worth of Instagram
content.
content.
Beautifully said, Tim. Beautifully said. And not only that, when you stop where you go and you meet the people that you're online and they want to meet up with you, with like Mike was saying, you have content there as well. And
Yeah.
not only that, it's like it really contributes to your brand as well, just like the band, you the marketer, and you the fucking you're building this brand that you're passionate about, because you're not representing a company that you're not enthusiastic about. You're
Yes,
passionate.
exactly.
It's like at the end of the day, infuse yourself into the things that you love.
Yeah.
do your best to pivot that into your life where you can actually make it part of your career. And that's
Yeah.
you're a very good example of that. You are an example of that. I think that's what makes this conversation so worth, over an hour worth of talking. So
Oh, for sure, man.
we can keep going as well. But, at the end of the day, I think where we're at here is that, anything you have around you, just make it part of who you are, put it out there. Don't be stressed out by it. I am, at some level planning my content out a week beforehand and being able to, schedule it so it's a little easier on me so I could focus more on better content.
Of
I'm
course.
catching up to that as well. So it's like, I'm learning and applying as well. So but I am learning from the best. I am putting myself in, investing in these courses that are helping me do everything. So I'm streamlining the process and I'm not guessing.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to invest in yourself too, because like,
Dude.
I could go spend money. I could have spent money on a fucking road podcast fucking thing, but our podcast is virtual. So that's not going to really help anything. And
Sure.
I invested in a podcast course that, basically gives you everything you need and makes it a lot easier for me to schedule stuff out and like make myself better at podcasting. Even though I know what I'm doing to the extent I can always do better. We can always do better. We can always do better. And that's why we're interviewing people like yourself, because this makes us creditable as well, because we know what we're making you relevant to what people need out there. This is what they need to hear.
Exactly.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anytime, man. Anytime. Like
Can we talk again at a certain? No, okay.
I realistically think, I really think that, more people need to do their research, and more people need to just say, hey, I'm going to invest the time into doing stuff like this. Dude, I can't tell you, first of all, when COVID hit, I bought Masterclass. I bought Masterclass. I learned how to cook a bunch of shit. I can make 6 scrambled eggs thanks to Gordon Ramsay. I bought social media courses. I bought small business courses. I bought all this stuff, $300 here, $500 here, so on and so forth. And I just sat for hours and hours and hours on end. And I just took notes, man. I just took notes, because you can apply those notes to everything.
Yep.
There's that website. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that website called Skillshare.
Yes.
But Skillshare is the same thing. You pay $20 a month, and there's just unlimited amounts of courses on how to, sell your product or market yourself or do this or do that, or even do leather work. There's leatherwork courses if you want to learn how to do crafts and hobbies or whatever,
Apply what you're doing. So you take that and you repurpose it and you implement, and it's a thing. You're becoming a practitioner of what you love, and like you're not making excuses about not doing it. You're literally doing it. Like like everybody's like, what am I going to do with my time? I literally watched my band fall apart during this whole thing, and I'm like, guys, let's do this. Let's get on Jan Kazan. Literally fall apart. They couldn't do it because, again, and it's not against them or anything. I love those guys. I have nothing really against them except for the fact of they're not like-minded. The like-minded of me versus them is I put my time into things that are going to push my ability to monetize this and the ability to grow and actually do this for a living. If you want to make this a hobby, it's a hobby for you. And that's great. You love doing that. That's cute. It's cute.
Yeah.
I'm not here to be cute. I'm here to
Of course.
for real. And those are the kind of people your consciousness is the 5 most people you're around the most. And even those people that I'm around the most are virtual and I'm learning from them. Those are the 5 people I'm around the most. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
it's true.
And I'm with. It's not the people that I'm in a band with, because I'm hardly around them right now, 1. And then 2, I have all this time. What am I going to do with it? Okay. Fucking go study the people that you want to fucking be like, or that's going to help you go. So,
exactly.
Don't just sit there on your ass. I could sit here. I mean, there's been days, and we all have this, where you can just sit there and just be like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I know what to do. You know what to do. You know what to do. Your mind makes it so easy.
Exactly. A lot of people just don't want to do it because they're lazy, or, they're like, oh, well, I'd rather sit on the couch and do nothing.
And afraid of rejection, afraid of putting like, dude, I just did just a little example today, a beat manipulation for Tears for Fears. Everybody wants to rule the world. Like there's just I manipulated the beat and it's trending right now. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll just, do that beat manipulation, my version of it.
Yeah.
Did that, but it took me like 4 times to like sit there and be like, oh fuck, this is a mind fuck. Oh, okay, all right, but I did it and I got it, and I'm like, fuck, that's cool. All right, now I did it.
Yeah.
So me feel better that I actually took the time to actually do something that was a little uncomfortable, not familiar, and then post it for everybody to see because it shows you're human. And then the other thing is the behind the scenes stuff when you're in a band, those things perform even better than the most produced shit that you have, but you need both.
Seriously.
You know? So fucking A, man. Your beard is whimsical, by the way. And
Dude.
you're using a blue microphone or holy shit. Look at that.
Yeah, it's pretty long. Yeah, actually while we were doing this podcast, so besides all the other things that I do, I also stream occasionally on Twitch, and I play the occasional video games and whatnot. So a friend of mine, Sarah, that I met through Matt from Trivium, she works for Astro, and she's one of the best people in the world, always sends me a bunch of stuff. Astro is owned by Logitech. Blue microphones are also owned by Logitech.
I know that.
So it goes hand in hand. I use Astro headphones, I use Blue microphones, I use Logitech gaming mouse and keyboard and stuff. And so it was kind of cool because she always gave me a bunch of cool stuff, and like they always send me amazing product. I just did an unboxing for a bear brick from Metacom Toys that they just did.
And, you do reviews?
I do unboxings and stuff like that, small little stuff. I just started doing it on the YouTube or on my Instagram channel, and it's starting to do well, which is pretty cool. But she just I sent her, because my company does custom jackets and custom vests.
Right.
We can literally customize anything that you want. It's kind of like Fender's Mod Shop, where you can't change the specifications of the guitar, but you can change the color, you can change the neck, you can change this and that. So for us, you can take any model of our jackets or vests and do whatever you want on them. You can do denim, you could do leather, you can do crocodile print, you could do your state flag on the inside, you could do any custom liner that you want. The possibilities are endless.
Fucking awesome, because that just says another there's so many like if I'm like somebody listening to this right now, there's so many nuggets.
Oh yeah. There's
customizing things. Is awesome. Like you could take that and apply it to whatever your music is. How do we do this? Okay, let's write a song. I can write a song and literally it doesn't take very long, but it's like, all right, you guys give me the topic today. We're going to talk about that and we'll write about it. And
exactly,
we'll vote on that topic and we'll actually write about that, and you'll be on the album. You invest this much money to our Patreon page or whatever. So it's like,
of course,
it just the gears are going.
Yeah. So like with Sarah, I made her a jacket with the Astro logo on the inside of the jacket, and I thought it was really cool that I was able to give back and say, hey, listen, you hooked me up with so much product and you support my channel, like either gifting me subs or allowing me to do giveaways every month. They're like, yeah, we want you to do giveaways every single month, and they support me and support my channel so much. It was an ability for me to just give back, and I made her a custom jacket, her and this dude Shady that works for them, a custom jacket, and I have to do one more for their other dude Fletch. And dude, it's been primo. And she just got it today. So she sent me a message. She was like, I did not mean to start rumors, but because she posted the picture, somebody was like, oh man, these Astro collaborations are getting crazy. And she's just like, no. It's just like a one-off thing. And they're like, no, yeah, sure it is.
Right. Oh, that's great. Just fucking taking its own momentum.
Exactly.
So hey man, is there any other, I know we could probably sit here for the next 10 hours and talk like granularity about every little thing, but is there anything else you want to say? Because I'm wrapping it up. I'd say you guys, where you could find your Instagram page. So you maybe want to say that. And
so okay, I'll rattle all of it off. You can find me on Instagram and any other pretty much any other social media app at I am Tim Howley. It's just at I am Tim Howley. The band is Fit For An Autopsy. Same thing. All social media for Fit for an Autopsy. My clothing company is called Tombstone Hardware. My leather company is called Shore Leatherworks. The company that I work for is called First Manufacturing Company. What else do I do?
A lot of shit going on. That is something.
I guess that's about it right
What?
now. I guess that's about it that I'm focusing on right now.
You got a Chevelle handy and want to trade a black Black Label Society, right?
Yeah, if you have a Chevelle, if you have a 1970 to 1972 Malibu Super Sport SS396 or Chevelle, just as is, automatic, manual, whatever it may be, I have a Black Label Society record. So if you want to trade me for that, hit me up.
Nice. And with that, we bid you guys a
Fun to do.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Tim, thanks so much for being on the show, brother.
Anytime, dude. Anytime.
We'll have to do this again because I think there's more to this than just what we just talked about.
Oh, there's always stuff to talk about.
So look forward
and
to that.
I'm a talker. So
you are. Yeah, you
but
are.
Your talking it's not
valuable, man.
Very valuable. So I mean,
yes,
I think that a recurring spot would be important. Just
we're gonna think about this.
We will.
Yeah.
And guys out there, again, I hope everybody understands. Again, at Tim's level, he's at a certain level. We're aspiring to be at, and there's a way to get there. And there's a way to go burn yourself out, and there's a way to do it right. And you just want to follow the people that are already successful, and actually put yourself in the position to learn and become the learner. And you're always going to be learning and applying these things. But at the end of the day, you're a brand and you need to be three-dimensional, and people need to see who you are. So don't be afraid to do that.
It's true.
You said it. All right, brother.
Boys,
I will
see you guys soon.
Definitely. Merry Christmas.
You as well. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Have a good weekend. Yes. Your boys got 4 days off, so I'm stoked. Mike, I'll text you probably over the weekend or something like that.
Yeah, we need to talk.
Yeah, we'll get together on that.
Yep.
Hell yeah. All right, boys. I will see you.
See you soon.
Peace.
Bye. Alrighty. Well, I have my head's one big mind blown emoji icon right now.
Yeah. Me too.
He's a fantastic human being for starters, but also just absolutely knowledgeable at what he does.
He's got a very, very, very great temperament about him. Very calm, cool, collected, and
playing the most brutal music
ever. Yeah, right. Freaking brutal,
dude. They're
awesome.
If you're not familiar with Fit For An Autopsy, I highly suggest you become, because I listened to their records and I was like, there's no way those guitars can be that tight to the drummer. I was like, holy shit, they're that good.
They've been playing for quite some time. So
yeah, and I mean, Will Putney, who is part owner in STL Tones, which, if you guys don't know that guitar modeler, I use it in Logic. But he was Machine's assistant for a long time. And was a producer and engineer, and there's always this circle of people, and Tim also knows Brian Sau, and if you guys haven't heard yet, the Anthony Lepardo, Ray Marty episode, he's friends with those guys as well. Actually, he was in a band with Anthony in high school.
Well, they won't hear that until it comes out, which is going to be one of the new episodes for the new year.
Well, actually, it'd probably be before this one, so they probably will.
Oh, is that what we're going to do?
Yeah, I think so. We're gonna
do. But great stuff lined up, though, man. I mean, we got that
was 2 hours again. Boom, gone.
To be honest with you, like, it just keeps getting better. Keeps getting better.
Yep, it keeps getting better. And the thing is this, in the 2021 new year, since we're early into it now, I feel like where the combine's going to go and what we're going to show you guys and what we're developing and stuff is so pertinent to what the community needs. And I can't wait for you guys to join us on this ride. So, Greg, where can they find us?
They could find us at www.themusiccombine.com, The Music Combine on Instagram, The Music Combine Now on Facebook and YouTube.
Excellent. We will see you guys next week. Stay tuned for State of the Union this weekend, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.